take it away.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much. And I'm pretty excited to be putting this together for you guys. It's going to be very, very fun. We're going to have some heavy lifting going on today. I'm going to try to keep it as high level as possible, very beginner friendly. And this can take a long time. On my personal calendar, I have full 2 hours blocked out for this, just because it can take a hot minute to get through a lot of these workflows, building out a snapshot to how we want it to be. So let me make my other computer host real quick. So I'm rocking 2 devices today. And we are going to get this show on the road. All right, wonderful. So I'm going to be looking up at my desktop, which is why I'm not going to be looking at my camera, but let's rock and roll. So quick outline of what we're going to be doing today. Obviously building out a snapshot in GoHighlevel. A quick who am I? I run Adsit Digital, and I'm also in current development with PixelFox, which is a identity resolution platform. We're going to be able to put a name, email, phone number, address, and a full consumer profile to website visitors. So they let the website load or the landing page load, and we're going to automatically have all of that information on that visitor. That's still in development and is a massive headache that I somehow love. So with Adsit Digital, as you can see behind me, let me move my fat head. AdCRM is our actual CRM platform for life insurance agents. That's how we manage all of our clients. The reason why I have it off-branded from Adsit Digital is because it's a little shorter, and I can leverage multiple niches with AdCRM and Adsit Digital. So that's where I'm currently at. I'm self-taught in Python coding and API and web development. That's still a big learning curve that takes several years to learn, but it is a very fun skill. And I do encourage anyone and everyone to get a small taste of coding and programming, because it's a massive benefit and a fantastic skill to have. My background is mostly in marketing, systems, automations, as well as cold calling. And I have 0 coaching students. I don't normally, or I've never taken on coaching students. I like to help people as much as I can, because a long time ago, I was very, very broke and couldn't afford coaching, guidance, or anything like that. So I tried to be that free coach, that free resource that I wish I would have had at the very beginning. So with that, our objective today. So we're going to be building a snapshot starting with a GoHighlevel template. GoHighlevel provides a home services snapshot or account. So we're going to be using that to our advantage and basically be building up upon it and making our edits along the way. So we want this snapshot to cover basics of home services. I'm going to need your guys' help when it comes to the offer that we're going to be working with the platform or inside of the snapshot, and if it's going to be tailored to ads and exactly what home services is, because it could be electric, plumbing, HVAC. I mean, there's home services covers quite a bit of services. And I also want to focus on building this snapshot so that we can easily onboard new clients with limited automations, of course, in 10 minutes or less. A couple bonuses. We're going to talk about Cloudflare at one point and how you can never create a subdomain again. Cloudflare is a free platform that you can register your domains with. And we'll also be doing a review funnel, which I've already imported into this account. So it's going to allow home service clients to leverage that review funnel, filter out 3 stars or lower for internal forms, and improvement. And then anything 4-star, 5-star or higher will actually send that individual to the review links. So either Google, Facebook, or wherever you want to send them. And of course, ask me anything. I'll do my best to either answer the question or send material and or links to where answers can be found. All right. Gonna see if I can manage the chat here as well. Looks like it's mostly ads or outreach. So I'll circle back around to those messages here close to the end. All right, operating costs. So obviously we have GoHighlevel at $297 a month. I think that's what it is right now. That's how I'm going to be building out this sub account. It's that next tier up from having one sub account. Obviously Canva for creating logos, creating images. It's either free or the month to month is like 13 bucks. We're going to be using OpenAI just a little bit or GPT or whatever it is. So there's a star or there's an asterisk with that 0. Obviously, the chat version is free, right? And then OpenAI is more of a backdoor to their platform. I've been using OpenAI's platform for a little over a year now. Absolutely love what they do, and their chat feature is very fun to play with as well. Good music, and of course, expect to break shit. This is not always first time smooth, first time through, everything's gonna work. We're gonna have problems, we're gonna have hiccups, we're gonna set things up wrong. That's just human error. It just comes with anything you do, so might as well expect it and plan for it. So, quick outline. We're going to be going through figuring out the flow of the account that GoHighlevel provides. And I like to, there's timestamps, but all of these are subject to change. So figuring out the flow of the account, about 10 minutes, outlining what's needed on paper or a whiteboard. I like to do those at the same time. Starting with the easy stuff on the back end. So custom values, forms, tags. That way, as I'm building out workflows, landing pages, I can easily go back and just copy and paste, grab stuff as I need it. I'm not having to build it out as I go. Working leads. So that's usually the hardest part. How we want to be working with the leads, initial contact, follow-up, retention, and working in the reviews as well. And then, of course, where can we value dump? So basically building in extra support off of the current system. So you can see a good example of that would be doing templated newsletters so that your client can go in and basically just do bulk blast method and send out those newsletters that they edit and make their own twice a month, once a month, however many you want to have them set up to send. Then I don't think I did any homework. Yeah, I didn't do anything here, so we'll get rid of it. All right, let me double check. No questions in the chat. So with that, we will get started. Okay. And I'll do my best to manage the chat at the same time for you guys. So if I take a minute to get to your question, I do apologize. So like I mentioned, we're using the home services snapshot from GoHighlevel. And I basically want to figure out exactly what's in this account, right? I personally haven't done anything with home services before, so it's a little bit of a newer niche for me. But that doesn't mean we can't figure out what's going on here. Question. There should be training on the Apex side with mapping Facebook to GoHighlevel from guest or to guest. But anything ads related, outreach related, Apex related, I'll do my best to answer at the end. I'm going to be focusing mostly on building out the actual snapshot for right now. All right, so first thing that I like to jump into when I'm figuring out what's in a snapshot, what's in a account, and trying to figure out and understand the overall flow of a account is I like to go to the pipeline. Pipeline is going to tell me exactly what the outline is and what our beginning results are and what our end results are within the account. So GoHighlevel has $150 off pipeline, new leads, hot leads, booking requests, booking confirmed, services sold. So I want to rename that pipeline. I don't want just the offer here. I want to be able to maintain and retain a book of business for this home services. So again, we're going to come back and we'll change this a little bit. So I also want to add a stage for current and past clients. That way we can leverage newsletters like I mentioned earlier, and we can kind of realistically, we can leverage like our own marketing platform, right? We can send offers through SMS, emails, and then of course maintain conversations through the months and through the year with everyone that we've worked with or have talked to. Then quoted and not sold. Anyone that we've talked to over the phone, went to the house, gave them a quote, but they didn't buy the service. I want to have that stage as well because they'll get some extra attention long term. All right. And then let's take a peek at calendars. It's just the one calendar. Let's see. I want to see if there's anything specifically built into some of the wording here. Availability, pretty standard. Confirmation. All the basics. Great. All right. Let's check out the funnels. Sites. All right, so I imported the review generator. That didn't come with it, but we have the $150 off home services funnel. Plumber and HVAC. It's a little bit of everything that I'm seeing, which I'm not super thrilled about. Home services, I feel like you can leverage landing pages for, you can leverage landing pages, I'm sure, for like conversions, optimizations, things like that. I can't imagine you want this much information on just a landing page. I'd rather just do a full website. And when I was doing my prep work, I was kind of coming to that same conclusion, and I imported a website that we may or may not use because I'd rather have this offer just be stapled onto the website, right? If we're going to use it long term, have it on the website, we're going to be able to put a lot more SEO and kind of leverage the website like a garden, right? Really start digging into it and planting it, and then over the coming months, over the coming years that your client is with you, that SEO and that engagement on the website is going to pay on. So that's the template I pulled in from GoHighlevel. Again, this is just one of their templates for their websites. It's very, very simple, right? And that's why I picked it. I don't want a ton of different options. I don't want to be distracting people too much. I want something that's really laid out and going to be easy to lay out or line up exactly what the services are, right? And we'll work on this a little bit, but not too much. It'll be more about leveraging the website and leveraging each of those sections to our advantage. All right, forms. We have our private review form, of course, and then here you can drop this off. Our surveys. No surveys, chat widget, of course, all that stuff. Workflows, we don't have any workflows, so we need workflows. I know GoHighlevel has triggers. I know they have campaigns. I like workflows. Workflows give you absolutely everything you could ask for, and it's just a lot easier to play around with, in my opinion. So I actually only use workflows. That's just me. You can take that and do whatever you would like yourself. All right, so we need for workflows, appointment reminders, some sort of new lead / hot lead, initial outreach, of course, for people coming in. With home services, I can't imagine someone's going to be looking for a plumber longer than like 14 days. A lot of these times, I feel like it's going to be a little rushed. So 14 days is going to be hopefully plenty. And then we can always have like a initial or like after the 14 days, a 30-day check-in for sold / done jobs. We may build out a template for like a newsletter of some sort. We'll see if we have time for that today. Assigning leads to the user. This is something that I do like to keep separate, because if I have a snapshot, I like to have an account that is dedicated to the snapshot all on its own, completely empty. Because as I make my edits, or if I make a major edit that's like, oh, I made a mistake for this part and I need to fix it, but I already have like 2 or 3 other accounts, I can make it on the primary snapshot account, update it within the settings, and then I can send out the blast. But I can exclude the assigning the lead to the user workflow. That way we don't have to go back in and reset the assigned user parts. Then we can have some sort of tasks or reminder workflow here as well. Actually, let me go back to that website real quick, because I think I have an idea for it. Because if we're going to be posting that offer on the page, right? I would have it be a banner up top. Click here to claim $150 off your first job or first service. Yeah, I'd rather have that set up to be almost like a lead capture form, right? A reason for us to just get their name and info, even if they don't use it for the next 30 to 60 days. So we'll need a template for some sort of voucher. And again, we want to put some sort of timeline on that, right? So we can we'll do 30 days for now. What do you guys think? Am I missing anything major here? Anything that you guys really want me to, or really want to see get built out? Or can we start jumping into the good stuff? That is correct, Lord, because I'm using a notebook. So I'm jotting down all my notes just so that I can keep track of our outline. Yeah. Yeah, pen and paper is, I have a whiteboard, it works great, but it's hard to beat pen and paper. it also allows me to have a great pausing tactic when I'm on a sales call, which I really like. All right, so I'm not seeing any other questions pop in. So with that, how would we go about creating a copy for a metal roofing template? EJ, so that's going to be more of like ad creation. I'm going to be focusing mostly on building out the snapshot for home services. But we'll circle back to that closer to the end, creating ad copies and things like that, and how to implement them within the snapshot. So with that, let's jump in. So first thing we talked about, renaming our pipeline. So we'll jump into our settings here. This is a term from like the insurance niche and financial advisors. I really like it though, so that's what I like to do. I'm not a big fan of new leads and hot leads. Leads are leads, and I'm not seeing. I don't see a major difference for home services, like what that difference would be. So I'll probably end up coming back and changing that. I don't know to what yet, but yeah. Booking requested, booking confirmed, services sold. We're going to change this to job completed. And this is going to be our retention / review stage as well. So obviously we want to make sure customer had a great experience, right? That they're happy. And then we can also, if they are happy, then we can have the review info go out to them. Let me get rid of some of this stuff on my side. Should I change the booking requested to, and I'm asking this question because I'm not super familiar with home services. So I'd love your guys' feedback on this. Changing booking requested to in-home, like in-home quoting, booked, something along those lines, right?
It depends what niche you're in and what the service is. If it's plumber if we're using Facebook, because I fourth generation home services people, family. And so if it's like something that's in Google, that would be a emergency repair. If it's, a Google lead, if it came from Facebook, it would be more an impulsy, or that would be kind of nice. Are you doing specifically, like, here's one that you could do that might be okay in Facebook. I'm not telling you to do it, just giving you some thoughts. And that is HVAC and doing duct cleaning, furnace cleaning, and dryer cleaning. And then it's also a common group on offer. And that is, and some HVAC companies don't do it, but just giving it to you. And what happens is the offer is generally like $99. We'll come out and we'll inspect and do some basic cleaning. Better language than this. This isn't the marketing copy. This is the concept. Yeah. So they come out for $99. They do the basic cleaning, and then they go, oh my gosh, did you know that your dryer vent is 8 feet long? And look down there. Do you see all the stuff in there? And that's probably got mold in it, or maybe they got test for it. We could clean that for this much more as long as we're here. And, this didn't include a filter on your furnace. So if you'd like a filter, it's kind of the same oil change thing with cars, where you get them
Okay.
in for the oil change and you go, oh, and look at your brakes and look at here. So, and it's like roofers with how they do with their gutters, where they like, oh, we'll clean your gutters just to get up on the roof, and then start to say, did you know here? Did you know here? Well, HVAC has that element. Plumbers, my father's a plumber and general contractor, HVAC, not so much. They're more the kitchen remodel where you're going for those big leads. So did that help at all? I don't know.
Yes, it does help. It does. Because I'm going to change this for new leads to offer the leads are offered. Offer accepted. I'm going to leave the in-home quote booked. Quoted, not sold. Job completed, current and past clients. Or actually, I'm just going to change this to past clients. How does that sound? That way it's I want it to be just neutral enough that you guys can take it and really make it your own without it being too like niched down, if that makes sense. We're still focused on home services and the offer that home services can provide, but I don't want anything I don't want you guys to get stuck in a box with some of the wording and how I structure the snapshot, if that makes sense. And just for clarification, the more you guys engage with me, you guys can feel free to unmute yourself and ask me questions as we're going along. The more detailed, the better of a snapshot I'm going to be able to build out. Again, home services is not my niche, so I'm very open to guidance from you guys on how we can structure it. That way you can take advantage of that snapshot once I post it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save this. I like the funnel chart, so I'm going to have that be showing. We have our book of business. All right, and then calendar. The calendar is great. I always think about scalability. I like to call it stress tests as well. And when it comes down to a stress test, having a group sales calendar always works better, because if you have even just 2 people inside of an account, you want those calls to be going between the 2. If someone isn't taking sales calls, the other person's more back end, then you can just simply have that person not be on the calendar, right? So we'll do this as quoting team. We'll do fancy copy about us here. 10-minute quote. We'll leave. I always leave it for availability. And quick note for agency snapshots as well. We're like building out a marketing agency snapshot. Same thing applies, right? You want to be able to grow and scale. And part of that is bringing in sales reps, bringing in appointment setters, or people who can take these calls. And so having a team calendar at the very beginning that round robins those appointments, it's going to save you a lot of editing and a lot of changes on workflows down the road. speaking from experience. So this is a big thing that I like to tell people is using the full team calendar. The more fancy copy to help increase bookings. Appointment title. As you can see, like with my little pop-up here, right? I like to have it be somewhat captivating of a event that will show up on their calendar, because I want them to pay attention to the event when it pops up on their phone or wherever. I also like to do bright red, that way it really pops out. I don't have any users here, so we're going to just click on availability. These are our 15 minutes, 30-minute intervals. We're going to do 10-minute buffer. We're going to do 10 days. Or no, not that's minimum notice. days for the date range. I'd imagine most services, home services are also open Sunday and Saturday. I'm going to leave them off for this example. Custom form. We may build something out. We'll see. We'll see what happens. And that you guys are going to hear me say that a lot. We'll see if we come back to this. We'll see if we come back to this. I like to start with foundation, which is the notes I have here, because, and as you saw with the website versus landing page, I pivoted from having it be a unique offer to having it be on the website as a banner. That way, if we get website visitors that come across the site from Google Maps or SEO, however, we encourage them to opt in for a reason, right? We can basically bribe them to give us their information ahead of time. So contact the assigned user, that they should be getting the invite. I always do allow Google Calendar to send the invite as well. We'll leave that there. Pixel ID, custom code, custom thank you message. So this just made me think of something. So part of home services, right, is going to the house, depending on the job, and actually talking to the client and being able to drive over there, shake hands, which is something that is very foreign to me. I never leave the house. But for individuals that go out, we need to be able to confirm that they're actually going to be there at the appointment time, right? And so we should have a task that notifies our client about the booking. But more importantly, reminds them to call and affirm the appointment. Because we don't want them driving across town just for the person not to be there. So I'm going to keep that in mind. I don't think this is going to save. Yeah, didn't think so, but it's all right. Calendar for sales / employees. Let's jump into our website. I always do edit in a new tab. Well, actually, before funnel, let's jump back into tags. So I have some ideas for tags that we are going to need. Tags. I'm all over the place with tags at times. So I find that writing it down and then creating them helps filter out a little bit more naturally. Quality control for the name of the tags, as well as actually making sure that I need the tag, right? So tags can be emergency job or emergency. Actually, I'm going to do emergency job. I'm going to do a voucher tag. I'm going to do a past client tag. I'm going to do a, let me go back. What was our first one? I'm going to do a booked tag. I'm going to do a quota tag. I'm also going to do a leave us a review tag. It's a little long, but it helps with clarifying exactly what the tag is, makes it a little bit more intuitive. Let's see, past client, voucher, emergency job. Though I would imagine most emergency jobs are going to be people just calling in right out the gate. And let's see, booked, quoted, job completed. That's going to be part of the leave us a review, past client. Okay, I think that's all the tags that I'm going to utilize for right now. Let's see, trying to think of anything else we might need to set up before custom values. We don't really need any of these because our offer is a little bit more generic, right? It's $150 off first service. Twilio number, we'll keep that. Twilio number and link form. I'm going to take it that is like a trigger link. Okay. Trigger link. We're going to take that. Don't need that. I'm trying to think of who we or what we need. It always helps thing in the niche, doesn't it? All right. So we may come back to this, we may not, we'll find out. All right, let's start editing this website. So something that I like to do with websites is you can use the what is it? Like the mobile view that GoHighlevel has, right? I have found that it's not always true to what a mobile view actually is. So fun little trick, just right click or control click if you're on Mac, hit inspect. The scary page is going to pop up. I have it set up to automatically jump like this. Your computer might do it, it might not. All you have to do is switch from the big screen to the little screen. So just click there. And now we can see what's actually going on with this, right? So great example. Something we don't need is that. We don't need that. That's just a waste of space on the mobile version. So we'll switch that out. But then of course you can also see like individual elements, right? So this is fun to play around. So I'm going to keep this a little bit more generic. Home services done right. Just like you, we like to complete jobs right way the first time around. Bingo. And so let's see if we can just add a row to that very top. So we're going to add a section, full width, right, at the very top. Add row, add element. Let's see. I'm actually going to make the whole thing a button. I haven't tried this before, so this may flop completely, but we're going to find out. So I want this to be floating at the very top, right? So I start with the section first. I take out bottom pad, take out the top pad. I'm going to give the bottom pad just a small 5. And then I go down to column, take out the top again, click on the button, take out the top again. We're going to add that back because it's changing up one. Fresh.
Forrest, that button is really brilliant. Have you done that before?
I have not.
That's brilliant. I mean, I love what you just did there. I'm going to start doing it all over everything. And then I want to let you know your inspect thing that you just showed is going to save so much time. I didn't even think
Yeah.
of that. So I know it's really quiet here, and sometimes it's hard doing stuff when it's quiet, like, is anybody getting this? Everything you're showing us here is really brilliant. So thank you. I appreciate you.
Fantastic. I appreciate the feedback. And it is hard. Y'all are being very quiet. I feel like I'm just talking to myself. So feel free to try to distract me if you would like. So services. And the inspect thing that I showed you guys, yeah, I actually didn't learn that until like 2 years ago. And it's been a massive lifesaver since.
I'll second with what Lori was saying. Your teaching is fantastic. I own an agency now, but I come from 20 years of owning a lawn care company, and everything that you're working on right now is right in line with that. So kudos, you're doing a great job.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate the feedback. So what I'm going to do is set up these appointment now buttons to simply schedule your quote now. And I'll have all of these linked to scroll to Element. And I'm not a fan of having it right there. I understand why. Actually, let me see if I can. Preview. I don't know why I keep closing on this. Schedule your appointment here. I'm actually going to make that section for desktop only. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to that should be desktop only. I'm going to put the booking calendar at the very bottom for mobile because it's a lot easier to, or it's a lot more encouraging to just click the button and have it go all the way down than just have that calendar client facing up front and taking up space that we could use at the top. And there we go. We can see that it's not even popping up, which is exactly what we want. For this, we're gonna make this section desktop only as well. I mean, if they have a fun little video, I guess they could slap that there. I think this is kind of a lot. There's a lot of information. Depending on the services, you could have a separate calendar per service if it's that drastic, right? Plumbing, HVAC, electrical, right? You'd want each of those to be a little bit more unique and talk about the specific jobs that your client can do on a separate page, right? So I'd probably have that be I don't know if how do we do this? We do no, we can't do subsections, but that's fine. You could always just have these tied to different landing pages talking or unique sections of the website that aren't mapped on navigation and just have it go to each of those, leaving the top logo so that they can click that and go back to the home page if they want. That's how I would go about this section. Of course, talking about why they should be, why you should work with them. Truthfully, I don't really care about that. Let me double check this whole section. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of that section as well. I don't know what would be featured galleries like. Yeah, I don't want to see pictures of giant fans outside, so not really worried about it. What you could do is, if depending on your client, right? If they want, or you want to add some like fun, like something to keep people on the website longer, which is going to increase the website score overall, is have it linked to like TikToks or short little videos that some of the repair guys have done, where it's basically just a time lapse of them completing a job, right? Those are always fun and entertaining. I don't know if you guys see those, like the lawn care guys on TikTok. That gets me every time.
Does this have reviews? I stepped away for a second. Does this page have reviews? That would be the most important thing. If I was booking something, I'd want to know, are they pulling their Google reviews or something in so I don't have to go look them up?
Yeah, so I actually really like how this is laid out. If your client has someone who's like awesome customer feedback, or they have great stats like this, awards, I would put this here, and or create some sort of image with the award pictures on top of it. Otherwise, we can go down here. I'm going to leave this just for the example. Click elements, and we're going to slap in. And we may have to do, yeah, we're going to get rid of that. Add a section. We're going to just make this wide. Row. Where? Oh, there it is. And we'll have the reviews. All right, awesome. Have that posted. A fun little trick for you guys as well. With Canva, you can download your images as a SVG file. So if you look here, you have your SVG files. And I may be completely wrong about this. Pretty sure I'm not, but SVG files are technically smaller and faster to load than PNG files for images. And so leveraging or downloading your images as SVG files and then posting them in to GoHighlevel and then using them for your images, it's going to help increase your page speed and your website speed quite a bit. And with Cloudflare as well, Cloudflare also help compresses and this basically like discards unused code for the website so that it's going to only improve what's going on with the page speed. If that makes sense. All right. Any questions so far? Any concerns?
First, I want to confirm to you that you are absolutely right about the SVG files. And you just solved a huge problem that I've been having for 3 days by telling us that in GoHighlevel. And Adobe is saying exactly what you're saying, that SVG files are usually smaller, which makes them quicker to load on a page. I'm going to start doing everything SVG. I mean, I'm just getting so much brilliance from you because, of course, we all know you're brilliant. I just want to thank you for this time. You're doing great.
Absolutely. Thank you. The SVG files was actually something I learned just a couple weeks ago. And my VAs weren't thrilled about the update because they had to go through and basically re-download everything as a SVG file and re-upload everything. But everything is going much faster. So it's very helpful. Something I forgot with the website is that we are hiding this section, but we need to have the calendar down here. Yes, WebP is also a faster image load style.
Could you repeat that first? Because I can't see everybody's chat. I can only chat directly to you in the chat.
Oh,
Don't
gotcha.
know.
Let's see if I'm able to change that. I don't think I'm able to.
That's fine. Just to let you know, I don't know if everybody else can see the chat, but
I
if you
think-
could read the questions or the comments that you said.
Yeah, I think I just got it fixed so that everyone can talk, like everyone can see the chat as they come in, assuming they are not directed towards the host. But WebP is also a faster image load style. I'm getting in the chat. So I'll post that here. All right. And of course, with the calendar that's scheduled, or the scheduling calendar at the bottom, we have an option, right? We can either leave it be for the page so that if I'm a visitor and I'm scrolling down, right, I see the first section of the book, I pass it, I'm reading, oh, they can do my job, oh, frequently asked question, and here I am, I can book, right? Or you can have the button that takes them to either a separate page and or back up to the top to schedule. But if this is just for mobile devices, we just go into advanced, take out desktop, hit save. We'll refresh our page over here. Scroll down. And there's our calendar. I actually really like some of these GoHighlevel templates. They are very fun and easy to leverage as well. Let's update this to awesome. And of course, as everyone already knows, copy and paste that URL for the PNG. As you can see, it does need to be a PNG or ICO. I believe ICOs also are smaller, faster loading images than PNGs for the like preview for the favicon URL. So that'll pop up if you text the summit, it'll pop everything up. Ooh, that's a good question. Thoughts on running area exclusivity for running ads? That was something that I had to figure out when I was starting out in real estate. I personally think that you're leaving money on the table. Simply because if there are two HVAC companies in town, that there's a reason for that, right? There's enough people for both of them to share, for them both to compete against each other, right? And at the end of the day, you can be generating more leads for one client and the other client has less leads, but the other client might be closing way more simply because they're doing the follow-up. They understand how to do sales. They know how to provide good services, right? So for some areas, you can create that value of like, hey, only like limited spots available, right? If you're in Dallas, you don't want to take on 30 different HVACs companies, but you probably can take on 10. You could probably take on 15. And so you can limit the number of seats for the area, and you're going to get booked up real quick. All right, so funnel and our website. Let's see. Again, with the navigation and all of these separate pages, you can have separate pages set up for specific services that you offer, and just leave those off of the main navigation menu on the homepage, giving people plenty of ability to go back to that homepage, right? Within that same tab, or open it up in a separate tab. It really depends on how complex you want to make your website, right? So, yeah, I'll leave it at that. Forms. Let's talk about this real quick. I'm not here, so GoHighlevel has this like little script for the style. Sure, I like the red. I think it's all a little much, but that's just me. That's just my style. I'm a big fan of like a very simple, clean look. As you can see, I just went through and just made sure all these are required with them. And then claim your 150 voucher. What is this button doing? It's just submitting. I kind of want this button to be a different color though. Green. I want it to be full width. That's how I would make my form if I was doing this. Something just nice and stacked, nothing too crazy. We are getting to the good stuff, workflows. I think that's coming up next. We don't have any surveys. Shoot, we don't. We have actually, I'll touch on the review funnel real quickly because it's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, images so cool. Open in a new tab. So this is pretty straightforward, right? And you can change up the wording however you'd like. You have your client's logo there. How likely are you to recommend this to a friend? Scale of 1 to 5. So each of these is actually an image, as you can see. And in the bottom left, go to URL. So that's going to be our private form for them to give us their name, their contact information, and then tell us what was so terrible, right? And then they can hit submit, and that stays internal, unless they just go around the system, which is on them or on your client, really. And again, so we have that set up for 1, 2, and 3, and then 4 is the review link that goes there. Same with 5, and I have it going, or it's not opening up a new tab. It's all happening right here. And yes, this funnel is old. I don't usually use this funnel too much. It's more for clients. Get rid of this. And then again, image, you can have the icons, you can have the pictures like we have here. pretty sure, actually, let's check this real quick. Unsplash to Google icon. See, I really like these. That's what I would. It's probably what I would use. Seeing the one I had in mind, but I do really like. I like that one, but it's at the angle, so I'm not going to use it. I bet Canva would have something very similar to this. Let's do Google. Oh, that one's a fun one. All right, we're gonna go with this one. Because it's like in line is what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's something that's like more or less what I'm looking for, right? Clean, kind of bubbly, fun. Let's take off the clearing out this back. Nice and clean, send them to the platform so that they can leave a review. I'm sure there's other people that have a little bit more of a streamlined process. This is what I do, keep it nice and simple, all in-house. I didn't have to pay anyone to build it out for me, right? Because there's a couple people out there that will do that. All right, sweet. So we've done our review for funnel. All right, workflows is going to be a fun one. All right, so let's start with some of the easier workflows that we have here. The first one, actually, let's create a folder. System functions, I like to have a folder for all system functions, right? So in here, things like assigning the user, right? User, select the user, right? And then, of course, only apply to unassigned contacts, because if someone comes in, books the appointment, they're already assigned. We don't want to reassign. So, I don't have a user on the account, but so what I'll do is I'm going to put a wait step, title. Oh no, I can't spell assign right now. There we go. I don't know why I put 50, I just did, so have fun with that. And of course, allow multiple, auto mark is red, hit save. All right, here's one. We also want to create a couple for like Twilio notifications, right? Or not notification, but Twilio errors.
Is there any reason to use Twilio now, since the LC system is out there?
So the Twilio validation errors also work with the LC phone system. It's gonna work hand in hand.
Oh, okay. And
Yeah.
what's the purpose of the validation errors?
So it allows us to stop sending stop trying to send phone calls or D&Ds, or not D&Ds, text messages to that contact. It allows us to manage that contact a little bit more appropriately, right? So in this case, if we have a error for the phone number being completely wrong and we set the contact with bad phone number, we can then leverage email and basically have all of our text message campaigns duplicated over into email versions,
Oh, okay, cool.
right? That's a great question, though. And here we go. So we do need a extra tag, right? Bad. And then again, if we want to leverage email workflows instead of all of the text message and phone calls, we can then hit like a add to workflow and or make a note and make it happen. Because if we're talking with someone through email and we know that it's a bad phone number, we can try to get that updated phone number for them and try to fix that. And then reverse the D&D tag.
What are your thoughts on including like the text signature with the opt-out message on that first send?
That's actually a really good question. I don't like it. I think that it dings the phone number and it invalidates the legitimacy of the phone number. So I actually don't do like text stop to opt out. What I do is something a little different.
Oh, I see. Nice.
Yeah, so we have on a couple, I leverage it more on like the AI SMS bot that I have built out for life insurance. I have it like specifically built in like I can't remember the word we use instead of stop. You can do leave. Let's see what else.
So you just put a list of words in there that would be similar to stop.
Yeah, and with that SMS that goes out, right? If we're sending in that text message, we have our message up here. And then we just put something like that, right? That way they reply back with leave, and then we have the automation set up to look for that phrase or look for anything like that. Definitely set up a couple different variables or synonyms for it. And that way, if someone replies back, stop, leave, don't contact me, it automatically removes them and then sets the D&D as well.
Okay, cool.
And then, of course, for this was that contact with D&D, specific channels, call, and SMS. Let's see. Create another folder. Sales and appointments. Allowed me to not have to go in on each of these email reminders, and put in who it is and where it's coming from. Let's see. That's kind of how I would lay that out, that messaging. Your appointment has been confirmed. Appointment time with user. Time does not work for you, let me know. I'll reach out before the appointment to confirm you'll be home as well. And that's probably something that, now that I'm thinking about it, or now that I'm going through more stuff, that I would include on the voucher is making sure to pick up their address early on. That way you don't have to get it down the road, right? Then we have our second reminder, right? Probably change that up just a little bit. So internal notification, we want to send this notification to the user assigned to the appointment, and we want them to reach out to confirm the appointment, right? Make it easy, or if they have a work phone, I would just do SMS. Actually, don't even know if these are right. It's contact, full address. if they're able to work, obviously we want our users to be using the phone app. We want our users to be using the platform. That is what makes the platform sticky. That's what makes it so that people never leave the service, right? Because they start to use the platform every single day, and it's a revenue generating service. So I would try to leverage this so that everything can be done within the platform. So call to confirm appointment, oops. Appointment confirmation. And then again, call. All right, and then of course I would switch this if I'm wanting all of our users to leverage the platform, right? So even if it's a guy out in the middle of a job, switching this over to, sorry, I thought I heard something weird going downstairs with the animals. Switching this over to an internal notification for the phone app, you can set this up so that it takes them directly into the contact. All they have to do is hit call, put it on speaker, and then they can look at the contact and make sure that the information that they have there is correct, right? So pretty easy. Actually, I'm going to rename this. Appointment confirmation and reminder. Create another workflow. Quoted but not sold. Home services can really leverage this kind of follow-up fairly aggressively or fairly well. So after that appointment, and this is why I like to talk to myself out loud, right? After that appointment and that service is provided, something you can do is set up trigger links to specific landing pages, right? That go out to the person out doing the quote or trying to make the pitch. And that text, all it needs to have is status of appointment, quoted, not sold, quoted, sold, and scheduled, and or not qualified or service or didn't fit the service needed, right? Whatever it may be. And have that not only change the appointment status, but also change that contact's workflow that they get pushed into or pulled into.
What do you mean by a landing page? I follow what you're saying. The part about having a landing page, is that a landing page for the staff or is that a landing page for the customer or prospect?
It would be a landing page for the staff. You could also leverage forms for it as well, right? So we'll run through this real quick.
So the staff would make some sort of communication. So let's say that Sally Sue has a roof and she had a quote, came out, did Sally Sue's quote, and then didn't close, says, I got to talk to my husband. And then we follow up again with Sally Sue. She says, my husband wants me to talk to 2 other people or something. Is that what you're talking about here? Like that sort of experience with working the lead?
Let me build this out and then we'll test it as well. Is that okay?
Okay, sounds great. Unfortunately, I gotta hop off for about 20 minutes, so I
Oh.
apologize.
Okay,
But I
well,
will watch, I'll be
tell me
back and I'll
your-
watch the recording.
Tell me your question again real quick then, and I'll do my best to answer it.
Oh, that's okay. I don't want to interrupt your flow. We'll be cool. I'll be back. Okay?
Okay, no worries.
Thank you. See you.
All right, so we're gonna set this up, sold and or sold and scheduled, right? Because more than likely we'll need to get it scheduled out. We're gonna save this form. Gonna go back in here. Actually, let's quick folder. Appointment status. All right. And then we're also going to do a quoted, not sold. And again, it's just a simple text, right? So now, what we're going to do is click on integrate form. Copy form link, right? And right on the schedule, looks like my cat is joining us here. Oh, you can't walk on the keyboard. Enjoy the tail. So trigger links, gonna click on our links, gonna add. Which form did I grab first? Was it the appointment or quoted, not sold? Anyone remember? Here. Scheduled. All right, there are the trigger links. So we'll jump back in here. We're going to go to sales and appointments, appointment confirmation and reminder. And we're going to do the event. I think how I want this to play out. After. And we're going to do 20 minutes after the appointment. And we're going to send a notification. This will be specifically a text to the individual who went to quote the job. The status of the appointment. sold and scheduled. Quoted. Not sold. I think that's right. Trying to sound too fancy. Sold and scheduled. Quoted, not sold. Quoted, not sold. All right, and save. Now we'll go back in here. So this is a new workflow from scratch because we want to work off of that appointment status, right? So appointment status, and this could be considered this could be considered a system function, depending on how aggressive you want to put the labels on. But we're going to keep this nice and simple. So we're going to select trigger link. Quoted, not sold. We're going to tag. See, this is why we have our nice list so that I don't forget. I don't have to make up things on the spot, right? So we're going to name it quoted. And we are going to pretend like we have a workflow. So follow up. I'm also going to update the appointment status. Showed. That way we can make sure we have quality stuff coming through. Please excuse the dog barking in the background. She likes to think she's a guard dog, but she's really just running up to me. Let's see, trying to wrap my head around this. So if you guys have it clicking better than me, let me know. Put in sold. Status is being updated. That's what it is. Rename this. Go. Add a branch. Sold and scheduled. The trigger is let's fix that. We'll go back out, we'll go back in just to make sure it comes there. Bingo. Sold and scheduled. I can't remember, or actually, I don't know if we can change the status of the appointments. But I mean, regardless, we want it to be showed, right? And with this, you can add in more, right? Missed appointment, no showed, however you want to call it, right? Or rescheduled. That way you can reset all of your other campaigns based off of what's going on with the status of the appointment. So we still want this to show that it was an appointment that showed. We'll hit save. I'm going to add the tag. And this tag is sold slash. I'm just going to put it down as sold. Actually, sold and current. With these jobs, I don't know how long or what's the industry standard job length. Sold and current. All right. And again, appointment status that can be expanded upon. All right, so let's see. We got just a little sidetrack. So we had the appointment reminders done. We have assigned leads. We have the task for calling to confirm set up. And then I would actually, something I would leverage with the voucher that we have is I would email the individuals the voucher or like the voucher code, right? But I wouldn't tell them that I'm going to email it over to them. I would tell them that I'm going to text it to them on that website. That way we can encourage good phone numbers as well as cell phones instead of home phones or bad phone numbers, anything else like that. And so we can create that real quick. Actually, I wonder if they have a birthday template. Let's see. GoHighlevel always makes good templates. Like vouchers, so form submitted, form is. Something that we do want to make sure we leave for the settings is we do not want to allow multiple. You're only able to claim it once, right? And hopefully that gets the foot in the door to have more or get more jobs from the individual. So we're going to leave that off. And send out the SMS. I want to do numbers. And of course, you could always add the attachment as well, so it's like a little flyer or something. That would be very easy to do. We'll hit save. If with the images and with images, files that you're texting out, I would do that very specific, like in a very specific way. So I'll set it up let me put my brain into the computer real quick. All right, so we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait 0.2 seconds. So when we send a file, image, a video through SMS to a brand new phone number, carriers aren't thrilled about that. And so what you can do it takes a lot longer for that file to make it all the way over to the individual, because carriers actually open up that mail and see what's in it to make sure it's not anything super spammy. So we wait 0.2 seconds to allow the text to actually go up into the carriers and start posting. And then we're going to follow it up with a second SMS, which is services needed. Is there a specific job you're needing accomplished? And then I like to put something a little bit more personal, or something that is more human, right? So this is user job first, by the way. And then that should be it right there. And this is how so I'll touch on like the AI bot that I built out using GoHighlevel, because it's actually pretty straightforward. It's just a lot of if-then statements and routing people according to phrase or responses. Very similar to how I have it set up for the opting out for text messages. So with that question, right? Services needed. Is there a specific job you need? You're needing or looking to have done, right? With that, you can actually give them a list. HVAC, plumbing, electric. I can't spell electric, so I'm not going to pretend like I can. And then hopefully based off of that, you can then start to filter it out. If else. So plumbing. We're going to do. Oh no, we need a wait. That's what I'm missing right here. Change this from time delay to contact reply. Services needed. And put it there. And then we have our if else. So we're going to knock out this note reply real quick. So contact reply. Did the contact reply or false? And that's we can send them to long-term follow-up, right? and follow up with them the next day or 2 days later. Services filter. We're going to add a branch, right? So this could be plumbing, contact reply, contact reply message contains, and then you're basically going to be wording out or listing out keywords that could have to do with plumbing, right? So they might say plumbing. We want to switch this to or. And this is probably the most tedious part of this kind of setup. Is apply message contains leak, right? And the list can go on. And then you can use those same type of keywords for electrical work, HVAC, all that fun stuff. And basically introduce like, hey, can I ask you a couple questions, and then go through the questions. Again, leveraging keywords and intent to filter out exactly how you can set the system up to reply. So that's a little insight. With this as well, you can also leverage tags so that if someone doesn't make it all the way through, you can filter through on the contacts to see who engaged and then who didn't engage after question 1, question 2, however many questions you may have. So that's how I would go about the claim voucher, is leveraging a phone number instead of an email. Still sending out the email, but leveraging the phone number to try to get that text message out and sent first. All right. New lead and follow-up. So sales and payments. Let's see. I haven't actually checked out this Fast 5 before, so let's see what it has. We're gonna just be so for life insurance, I have like one primary workflow setup that covers final expense, mortgage protection, term life insurance, all of that fun stuff. Because at the end of the day, it's all life insurance. So that workflow is focused and worded out to be more about protecting your family financially, leveraging life insurance, no specific angle. That way we can kind of have the connection with Facebook lead forms and UpHex and all those new campaigns being launched. It's all just automatically done. As long as we map the Facebook lead form, it'll automatically get pulled in, right?
What are your thoughts about collecting info in the Facebook lead forms versus using the AI bot to verify some of that stuff?
Yes, always. On the life insurance side, we pull in we ask who the beneficiary would be, name, email, phone number, contact, gender, full address, date of birth, a ton of information just on the Facebook lead form.
Oh, okay.
It works really well on the life insurance side, but I'm sure it would work just picking up that address. I'm sure it would work just fine on the Facebook lead form side for home services as well.
Oh, okay. So you would try and grab the address in the lead form rather, like right now, what I do is after they fill out the form, then I send the automatic message. It's like, hey, thanks for submitting your form. Can you confirm your project address? And then once they confirm that, then I send it over to the contractor.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's better just to do it in the lead form.
I think it's worthwhile to test it out and especially because with home services, for example, like we can have campaigns running across multiple states. And so if an agent's running in-person appointments for life insurance part-time, we want to know who's nearby, right, and who's not nearby. And we also need to know like what state, so we can associate time zones if needed. On a local level, all you need is a street address and a zip code. You already know what state they're in.
Right.
It's right there. So it's not like you're asking for a ton of information. It's just street address and zip code.
All right, cool.
A new lead form is submitted. I'm going to be posting the link to the snapshot, Robert, on YouTube. It'll be attached there. And then I'll also attach it, or I'll make a post about it in the UpX group for you as well. So we're creating the opportunity. We'll select our pipeline stage, leads offered. Open this up. I'm not going to focus too much on emails. Emails is going a little slow for us, so I'll focus more on the SMS side. Want to make sure they actually gave us the right phone number. So yeah, let's make sure it's the right person, right? And then of course you can always put either the business name or the user's name. And then you could also do the location, right? That way they know they're talking to a real person located at X business name. We'll hit save, wait for reply or 2 minutes. Automatically calling out, not a big fan of that, so I'm going to personally delete that. I am going to create a task though. And you can leverage this call in a couple different ways for this to confirm the voucher, right? Contact name. This is another angle with home services, right? Obviously, it's not my niche, and that's clearly showing because I'm going back. I'm thinking of new ideas, different angles. But with the calendar system, I would likely have, depending on the team that's coming in, right? But I would have a appointment or in-home appointment quote calendar where it's just 15 minutes or 20 minutes, get in, quote the job, make the sale, and then schedule out a to go back to the job and finish the job. And then of course having the calendar as for the actual job calendar as well. So those are all things to be keeping in mind. So we want this due within a day, ask what service they had in mind to claim the discount for, and set an in-person quote appointment if needed. Otherwise, set the job appointment. And then quote. Someone called me up saying, hey, I was looking to use the voucher for cleaning out my entire ventilation system for the house, whatever it is, right? Okay, so that's normally going to run about $200. Thankfully, you have the voucher. That's a practically 50% off discount. It'll only take 30 minutes or an hour for us to be able to do that. When do you have time for us to come by, clean out all those vents, schedule it, and then of course show up and get the job done. Sorry, I was waiting for a minute. How are we able to access this snapshot? I'm going to post it in the group. I'm also going to attach the link to the video on YouTube for you guys. All right, call lead to confirm the voucher. Send a voicemail. No, I don't think that's, so we are going to delete that. This is home services, so I don't want to be overly aggressive, so I'm going to leave that follow up there. And then content apply through. Booking link. Yes, leveraging the booking link for the text message, because this is the 297 plan. We don't have the AI booking, which is just fine. So texting it out or following it up with kind of giving them two options, right? Or here's our link to book at an easy time for you. Why do they have this set up for a positive reply intent? Now I see. I don't know if we need a notification for that. I think it's more of a let's see. Think of how I would play this out. I guess is the both the benefit and the con of building out a snapshot in real time is that it can be a little slow, right, guys? Mike, do you have a question? I just saw that you have a hand up.
Yes. So, sorry, I'm fairly new to GoHighlevel, and I'm just blown away at how much you can actually do with this. So my question is, what if you have a team of salespeople I've never really watched a snapshot being built or designed one yet. But what if I had a company, had multiple salespeople in this HVAC company or whatever we're building out here?
Mhm.
How do you, if you take in a lead, is it possible to set this up where the leads go to a round robin to salespeople? If I had 3 salespeople.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the goal, or let's put that right there. Quick second, and I'll jump back over into the assigned user workflow. So that's kind of that is the exact reason why we have a separate workflow for assigning the user, though I just said asking the user instead of assigning the user. Because when a contact is created, booked appointment, Facebook lead form, any of those, right? Or even manually uploaded and put in, all you have to do is come in here I don't have any assigned users to the account, so it's a little tricky.
But it is possible.
Yeah,
Right.
you can add as many users as you want right here.
Okay.
And it will automatically just round robin the leads out.
Awesome. Just mind-boggling. Just amazing what GoHighlevel is capable of.
Yeah, it is absolutely an amazing platform. I know a lot of people tend to get a little frustrated with the support team at times with errors and things like that. Truthfully, I haven't had really any problems other than I think the one time the entire platform was down, but that was actually Google's fault, right? A lot of it comes down to just knowing the platform, knowing where to look, and having a SOP in place to break down what an issue is. I can try to touch a little bit about what my process is for my own SOPs on troubleshooting.
Okay.
But we'll see if we can squeeze it in.
So now I need to be a GoHighlevel expert.
I don't even think it really comes down to being a GoHighlevel expert. I think it comes down to just knowing where to look and leveraging the documentation for it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because people tend to forget that you can see where contact has gone and what workflows or campaigns they've touched or they've completed. Right.
Yes.
And that's like step one for me for any issues. Oh, contact is getting multiple messages. Oh, they're doing this, they're doing that. That's the first place I look is, okay, where has this contact been and why have they been there? And so I'll go through the messages, I'll go through and see how they came in, what workflows they touched, and then narrow down, okay, they went to this workflow, they went to this workflow. Those two could be like either or could be sending the multiple messages, right? And kind of go from there.
Yeah. It's amazing. I had no idea that, GoHighlevel went this deep into it. But
yeah, it can be a little nuts at times, that's for sure.
At first, I guess when you get into GoHighlevel, you're like, oh, what can I do for my business? Now I'm seeing like obviously we're selling this to other businesses, but now I'm just like, I don't know, just had the mind-blowing experience of, wow, this is really a sales CRM like nothing else that we can offer businesses to really help them.
Yeah. And it's so easy, like you can so easily adapt the platform to really
whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. Whatever.
That's like crazy.
And I mean, I'm not a home services expert. I don't know, and I don't know home services super well. But simply because of how I know GoHighlevel works, we can make a pretty cool system as long as I have someone that I can lean on to understand how the overall service flows or what those sales cycles look like, right?
Yeah.
The appointment status is something that we leverage for all of our life insurance agents that are out in the field and on the go. All they have to do is get the text, they click the appointment status that is according to that current appointment that they had, and they're done, right? They don't have to log in, go to the contact, change it. That's time wasted. So just a quick click and they're done.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Hey Forrest, I don't mean to interrupt, but I just like to ask like a kind of an off-topic question, not about GoHighlevel, but it's about UpX. Is that okay if I just?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so right now I just got like UpX a couple days ago, and we were gonna create ads for our niche, which metal roofing niche, and I was just wondering like, because UpX doesn't offer those like, you know, those specific kind of templates in their template library. So I want to know like the framework and like creating a good copy. You know, what makes a good copy or offer in like an ad, and what's the framework for that?
That is a loaded question. That's a very, very good question. For what makes good ad copy versus, honestly, I think there's a couple different things at play here, right? First and foremost, timing the offer with the correct audience, right? Because I'm not a homeowner, I rent, because in the DC area, the townhouse that I rent goes for like $700,000 and it's absolutely tiny, right? So you want to make sure you're able to whittle down and figure out the exact audience, and then positioning it with the timing for, did they just move? Is it an older house? Have they been there for a long time? And of course, being able to time the new build for the roof. Along with that, laying out the clear pros and cons and putting some sort of time limit on it, or making it feel like it's limited. So whether it's a unique discount code or the opportunity to package it with solar, right? Being able to basically, just like Alex Hormozy teaches, making an offer so ridiculous that it would be stupid to say no to. And then of course giving them a way to provide that those contact details.
Right.
But I mean, we can play around with it a little bit at the end, like creating ad copy, creating an offer around that. That would be pretty interesting to play with, though.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, how long do you think, I mean, I don't mean to rush or anything, but like how long do you think until that point where we can like?
Yeah, great question. So I'm going to do a 14-day follow-up workflow right now. And then I think that's kind of everything that we have set. I'll make sure some of the basics are here, making sure the appointment's attached to appointment reminders, all that fun stuff. And then I think we should be able to jump into some of the ad copies, how I leverage open AI, and a couple other things.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks.
So let's see if we have any other good list reactivation. Yeah, let's read this one out. I haven't seen this one either. Again, and the reasons why I'm using a lot of these templates from GoHighlevel is because I want to keep this very fundamental and hopefully help open up that box of possibilities of like, oh, just because it's not like this workflow is clearly dentist whitening offer. Just because it's for dentists doesn't mean I can't leverage the same offer or the same like framework for home services. So let's rename this to 14-day follow-up. So settings allow multiple. We're not leveraging AI, so we're going to not do marked as read, sub on response. Back into actions, contact tag. We're going to switch this tag with voucher. And I'm actually not even going to use it there. I'm actually going to remove this. Because this is 14-day. Voucher follow-up. I'm going to jump back into workflows. And I do apologize. This, like building out CRMs and systems is very much like building out a full web, like a spider's web. Everything is connected to everything somehow, some way. And it really just, for me, I just have to jump in and start playing around with the build, have a foundation or an idea of where I want it to go, and then just start moving that direction. Because each step I take, I'm going to get more ideas. I'm going to just be able to increase the overall quality and start building up on that foundation. So like with the voucher tag, right? So now I can come in here. I can do add to workflow. And again, this is going to happen after a day, 14-day voucher follow-up. Save. Now I'm done. And add our tag, pre-whitening offer. And please forgive me if I'm misspelling things left and right. That is not my strong suit. Actually, I'm going to leave this part in. Be a little mysterious. It's hilarious. And then hit save. And there's a couple different ways to get people to answer you through text as well as through on a phone call that I've learned through doing a lot of cold calling. What you can do, like if I really wanted to get someone to answer my question, but I've been texting them, they're just not replying back for whatever reason, I would leave this for hi, contact first name. Our system should have sent you the $150 voucher code. Instead of saying, were you able to receive that? I would say you were planning to use you were planning to use this for a plumbing issue, is that correct? These are two things, or there's two things with that, or why I'm making a assumption with this individual on how they were going to use the voucher. And it ties back to people's egos. People like being right, and they love being able to teach you something or tell you something, right? They like talking about themselves. So that's the biggest one. People like being right. If we're right out the gate, fantastic, right? How do we know that they were going to use it for a plumbing issue? And if we're wrong, they're going to be like, no, I wasn't going to use it for a plumbing issue. I have a HVAC thing that I need help with, or I have a electrical project I need done. Like, okay, great. My apologies. Let's figure it out. Let's see what kind of job we're talking about. And now the conversation can pick up from there. A lot of that is going to be tonality and just listening to how, and this is more over the phone, but just balancing out that tonality and that timing. People will tell you just about anything if you make a assumption and it's wrong. So that's the neat little trick I like to use when I'm talking to people over the phone. I don't know if any of that makes sense. Hopefully it does. To reply within an hour. Was it a positive reply? What is this? Again, this changes according to that first message. So before I forget, let me switch back over here and switch this back. No controls. So we should send that to. Great. I don't want that message. I don't want great either. I would like to see and or hear. Let's reply where you claim your voucher. Yes, no. Hold on, I think someone's blowing me up right now. Yeah, 4 people won't pay attention. That's hilarious. This is another thing that I do on phone calls that I also do in text messages. No one likes answering, like if you think about a test, right? It's very similar to going through a lead filtering process where you're trying to either qualify yourself, tell someone about the project, things like that. It's just like a test, right? I'm asking a question and I'm expecting some sort of answer back. Giving people A, B, C, or D options, it allows a lot less friction in the conversation when it's with a complete stranger, when it's with a prospect, right? And it makes it easier for them to answer the question as a whole because all they have to do is it's HVAC, it's plumbing, right? And that's going to immediately change the conversation based off of that answer. And do or maybe something. I feel like I'm spelling plumbing wrong. Is that just me, or is it just spelled really weird? then I am actually going to do a signature on here. I'm going to put our name on this thing. No worries. I can get that voucher sent out ASAP. Then we're going to wait, and we're actually going to just wait half a second. Copy, paste it. Switch it over to next steps. Because again, we want the project details so that we can start getting the quote, we can start making the sale, making the appointment to go in and make the sale, right? This is something that I talk about a lot with my clients because they're so very focused on working leads and getting policies written. I tell them the CRM system that we have in place, that we have all built out, is specifically designed to keep them focused, keep our clients, right, life insurance agents, focused on setting appointments and closing appointments. Back in like 2020, I was part of a coaching program where that was kind of like their whole saying for agency owners, setting appointments and closing appointments. I just flipped it on its head and set that message right back over to prospects and clients, right? Like, hey, we want you focused on setting appointments and closing appointments. If we can leverage the system to keep you focused on those two tasks and eliminate all of this other busy work, just from that alone, you're going to be able to have more conversations, which means you'll have more appointments, which means you'll have more shows, which means you're going to have more opportunities to make the sale, which means you're going to make more revenue. So let's see if they reply back. No, they not. Hey, first name, just checking if you'd be interested in a free whitening voucher. All right, what kind of message would I want this time? Is it not common practice to collect the address on a Facebook lead form for home services? Can anyone answer that question for me? Maybe, maybe not. That's okay. We'll act like it is not, just to be safe. So hey, contact first name. If we really want to get someone to reply, we could always do this as well. This is like, most people know this trick. Now, we've already been texting this person, so we can say, this is right. I'll wait for a reply. We're going to put this at 3 hours. Okay, great. Just making sure that we are talking to the right person, right? Again, this is based off of if the positive reply is yes. or positive. Can I explain the timeout in the workflow? Are you replying or are you talking about the this part right here? Okay, yeah. So when we send out this text, I'm trying to bait them into an answer. I don't like using that word, but that's what it is, right? I'm trying to bait them into answering me and replying back. If they don't reply back after 3 hours, I want the system to simply say, like, okay, we're going to move on anyways, and text them, right? Or move them into continued workflows, continued following up. And if they do reply, great, then we don't have to wait for the full 3 hours and we can jump right into our message. Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So that you actually did catch me in a potential mistake, right? Because this is contact first name, right? So is the reply positive? Yes, no. And so this is actually going to not be a no worries. This is going to be, oh no, I'm sorry, I have the wrong contact. Actually, no, I don't want that. Just for now. I'll come back to it. So positive reply, yes. Okay, great. Great. So, okay, we confirm the person after our follow-up. Great. I'm just reaching out to make sure we can get you a quote for any work you are needing done. That way, yeah, that way you can get that $150 savings before it expires. Can you tell me about the job/project you have? That's another thing that I like to do with cold calling, and I try to do with text messages as well, is if someone gives me a rebuttal or if they have a question, I answer the question, I answer the rebuttal, and I immediately move on. A good 70–80% of the times people take it as is and they answer my next question that I ask. I'm not pushy either, right? If someone says, how much is this going to cost? I'm going to say, it just, that depends on the job. Can you tell me a little bit about it, right? That's going to be how a friend talks to you. Whereas someone else might say, well, it might depend on the job, this or that, or however many other variables might come into play instead of just getting to that next question and getting straight to the point, which is what we want to try to accomplish, right? So we are confirming the individual that we're talking with, right? Is this contact name? And reply is negative, so they did not, it's wrong person. Just gonna go back to that. No worries. No worries. Would you like $150 voucher for any home services? Crying and laughing emoji. That's probably how I would try to pivot that, right? And then you can, of course, expand upon that as well, moving them either into a new workflow to re-verify information and or just ask them like, awesome, just so I can have an updated name on record. Who am I talking to? And then, of course, leveraging tags this entire time to help keep track of everyone. Because these people would be considered probably vouchers, right? Yeah, that's what we have this tag as. Vouchers. I'm going to go ahead and jump back into settings real quick. And I'll probably finish up more of the like putting a bow on everything. Making sure everything is legitimately connected, stress test it. Which stress testing is a term I'd like to use. And essentially I'm going to put like 1,000 contacts through here, all with without phone numbers. And I'm going to just run everything through that way. I can see any issues that pop up, any duplications in messages, anything like that without having to send out a ton of messages. And I can actually see that everything worked as is, right? Hopefully within the next couple hours or so. This call went just about as long as I was kind of expecting. So I'm going to start putting in tags real quick, and then I can break down like the SOP or like where I look on contacts to start troubleshooting issues. If you guys want to start dropping down any questions or anything specific that I can cover, I can do that while we're wrapping this up. The last 15 minutes or so. Customer. Any questions about the snapshot or anything specific that you guys want me to backtrack on and cover? I think I already, yeah, I have quoted. I absolutely can. Yeah, I can write some stuff out and I can package it up on a Google Doc for you. Oh, yes. I got you, EJ. Yeah. I'll touch on that here in just a second. Leaves review and sold / no, we have that. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Oh, I'm going to toss in here booked as well. So that's obviously one we need for. All right, so give me 1 second. No problem, Robert, I got you. So let's talk about OpenAI real quick. OpenAI obviously has GPT-4 and the chat thing that they have, but they also are, I mean, you can use OpenAI, like their actual platform, to do a lot more than just chat GTP. If I can get to the login page, they made it a little bit hidden. All right. Okay. So this is a little sneak peek for you guys. All right, so this is called this is the OpenAI's platform. So when you go to OpenAI, just go to the developer section of their platform and you can get signed up. The reason there's a asterisk with that $0 charge is because it's a test account, meaning you're able to use the platform as much as you want. You're technically using credits on the account. They automatically give you $18, or at least that's how much it was when I signed up a long time ago. And I think I've put in an additional, since I signed up like a year and a half ago, I think I put in an additional like $2 or something using the platform. It is extremely cheap. I use the top tier for all of their creation for like their bot stuff, the DaVinci version. And I absolutely love it. Before I built out my own custom little AI assistant, I just leveraged their playground. So you can click on their playground and I can pretty much do anything I want just with this blank screen, which is originally like how I built my own little copywriter this time last year. Took me a weekend too. Super, super easy. And there's like a ton of like YouTube tutorials that you can do to do this. All right, so EJ, we have metal roofing. Let's see, let's just go for it, right? So I want to buff in that temperature all the way up. Temperature is like the creativeness of the bot. Presence. Some of this stuff is a little hard to explain, so I'm going to just do it, and I apologize. So let's see, right? Let's just go for it. Let's see. I like it. All right, so there's that, right?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
I mean, yeah, I guess like this is pretty cool. I didn't know you could use OpenAI like this.
Yeah, and a benefit to this is that Chat GPT is like limited, right? This is never down. Like I can access the platform whenever I want, no matter what Chat GPT is doing. So while everyone is waiting in line, unless they're paying for it to use the platform, I'm going in and just playing in the playground, and I can do whatever I want.
Do you pay for this as well? Like how much does it cost?
So when you first sign up, they give you, or at least for me, when I first signed up, I had $18 of credits. That was like a year and a half ago. since then, I've put in maybe $2. And I use this a ton.
Okay. So it like charges you based on how much you actually use it for.
Yeah. And over
Okay.
the last year, I've maybe used $20 worth. So like extremely affordable.
Okay. Yeah.
So here's some more copies for you if you want. Just take a screenshot of that.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Do you have a specific offer tied to metal roofs?
So yeah, like, well, so basically what I was thinking as our like model first is to like, you know what a like database reactivation is, right?
Yeah, of course.
Like, yeah, of course. So we were like gonna initially on our outreach channels, what we're gonna offer first is database reactivation, something along the lines of like, we can get you 5 clients in the next 7 days. Or it's like, do you still do metal roofing jobs? And if they say yes, then we're like, okay, cool. How would you like 5 more in the next 7 days for a trial using our software or whatever, right? And then we get them on to GoHighlevel. And then from there, we were thinking like, okay, if they're liking it, then we could upsell them UpHex, right? And then we could say we can generate you more leads using, you know, Facebook ads like this. But I was wondering because on UpHex, because I don't know what to actually like, you know, put in the template when creating like the ads for our clients. So I mean, is there like videos or like something you can recommend me in like not just like getting the specific like this, but like just like a framework on like how to build a good copy on a Facebook ad? Like, do you know what I'm trying to mean? Like, I'm just trying to learn how to fish, not
Yeah.
be given the fish, you know? Like I don't know, maybe Sam has videos on YouTube somewhere or
Let me echo back at what I think I'm hearing. So you're looking for some sort of or a tried and proven method to, or you're wanting to run ads for your SaaS, and
Yeah.
you want to have roofing companies come in, do a free trial with your CRM, and hit X amount of results so that they sign up for either the annual plan and or month to month, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, how does this prompt sound? Write 5 sales letters targeting roofing companies about using CRM. CRM is generic for your business name to generate 5 roofing jobs within 30 days. Is 5 too many or is 5 not enough?
I was thinking like at least less than 10. Like I think 5 is a good spot.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I'm going to buff that up. So this is just like the length of copy that it will provide, right? I'm
Okay.
gonna add a little bit of spice to this. Oh, that's too much spice. Yeah, let's see what happens. It could be short, it could be long. We'll find out.
So this is like the initial outreach, like through like an email or like maybe a DM or something.
Yeah. You could also leverage it for landing page ad copy. You can leverage it for Facebook ad copy, right? And
Okay.
really take it and run and see what kind of like what it's all about positioning your offer with the solution and being able to tie it in with fast delivery, right? Being able to like for this offer, being able to go in and say, hey, within 14 days, we will get you 5 roofing jobs or you don't pay anything. That's a no-brainer offer. And most people, I don't have to pay for anything other than ad copy, and ad copy is going to run me $50 a day for 14 days.
Mhm.
If they run for the full 14 days or for the first week and they don't have a single job, more than likely they're going to cancel it, and that also saves them money. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
And that's a no-brainer offer because all they're doing is just trying something new, and if it works, great, they can use it, and if it doesn't, it's going to show that pretty quickly, and they can dip out of the offer or of the platform before it becomes an issue.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So let me just, I'm going to copy and paste this.
Actually, I like screen recorded like the Zoom call.
Okay, cool.
So I have I have.
Well,
all
then
that,
let me,
so.
I'll scroll down nice and slow for you. So letter 2, letter 3, letter 4, and letter 5.
Okay, cool.
Um,
And then
I'll
then
also toss in a cold email that I got a while back, and it was absolutely fantastic. It was hilarious. It caught my attention, and I really wanted to reply back that I wasn't in the niche, but I also want to keep getting his emails because they are hilarious. So I'll package this up or package that email up, and I'll toss it into the SOP that I'm going to put together for Robert as well.
cool. Okay.
And shoot me add me on Facebook and shoot me a message as well. And remind me because I can be a little slow at times.
Yeah, okay. All right, cool. Also, so we were also thinking on outreaching through Loom videos. Sam made some videos on cold video prospecting, right?
Yeah.
And we were thinking of getting super granular and our targeted client, not just a metal roofer, but a metal roofer. I think I mentioned it, metal roofer in a city with that experience a lot of storms, right?
Yeah.
So when we go about creating that custom video for them, what's a good framework for a good cold video outreach? Do you know anything about cold video prospecting?
I don't. I'm actually not too big of a fan being on video myself and having lots of people see it, but I'm trying to be more comfortable. I mean, that video is, you have 10 seconds, 15 seconds, probably not even that, to get their attention, right?
Yeah.
Make your offer, make it a no-brainer, and have them try to reach out. And for roofing, videos work really well if you have something to show them, right? Mm-hmm. For roofing, it's a pretty straightforward offer where it is, hey, we do a free trial with us, 14 days, we'll get you 5 roofing jobs, or you don't pay anything. I don't know.
You just guarantee them
is there any more that you
appointment.
need to tell them, right?
Yeah.
Before they say can you tell me more? Right. And from there, it's just a matter of questions how many people do you have? How big is the company? XYZ, and whittling or narrowing down exactly if they're a good fit, right?
Yeah.
EJ, check out InShot for shooting your videos. Somebody recommended that to me. It's a really
InShot?
cool app.
You don't do Loom? You don't use Loom? Because I thought Loom is kind of the default in that. I'm not familiar with InShot.
Just look at the app. It's pretty cool little app to shoot videos. A lot of people are using it in the industry. It's not like Loom, but it's more like an app for building videos to run on Facebook ads. I know Billie Jean and Vince Reed use it a lot.
Okay, cool. I'll check it out.
Yeah. Loom is great if you're showing people the platform, right?
Yeah.
Starting out like, hey, here's our offer. If you're still watching this, let me show you exactly how we do it. And then you make your bubble smaller and you show them the platform. Otherwise, I think you can probably just make a video on your phone, like, hey, so-and-so, my name is Forrest. I can get you five roofing jobs within 14 days, or you paint nothing. If you want to talk more, reply back to this message.
Yeah.
Pretty straightforward. So,
All right, cool.
great question. So,
I also didn't know you could do all this with Playground, and I subscribe to ChatGPT now. So thank you.
yeah, absolutely. I've been in the AI space for a hot minute now, so
Yeah.
it's absolutely fantastic what you can do with AI, and you need to be careful with what you call AI and what you don't call, what you call AI just in general, right?
Yeah.
Like building a AI chatbot within GoHighlevel isn't really AI; it's more or less just machine learning and leveraging positive intent words versus negative intent words. Like that's all that platform is, or matching phrases and words to each other, right? So it's not really AI.
Yeah, I love it. Makes things a lot easier for sure.
Yes, it does. Any other questions from you guys? I think, we went like a full 3 hours instead of my originally planned 2. So I appreciate you guys sticking it out with me.
I appreciate you doing all this for us. It's just incredible. So thank you, Forrest.
Yeah,
Thank you
absolutely.
very much.
Thank
And
you.
feel free to add me on Facebook and shoot me a message with a Loom video if you guys are running into any issues. I'll do my best to help figure it out. Sometimes there's a good chance if you shoot me a message like that and you say, hey, I'm having this issue or I'm running into this problem, you'll probably just get a Zoom link back from me and we'll just jump in and try to figure it out together, because that's usually the best solution to the problem. So
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
yeah, absolutely, guys. All right,
Yeah, thank you so much. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, Robert.
I was just saying, thank you so much. I've been looking for a solution because one of our niches is contractors and specifically lawn care guys, because that was where I had so much knowledge before. So to watch you build this was like really, really cool. So thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to help. I've had a couple people tempt me that I need to start making snapshots on just niche snapshots and then setting up my affiliate links on YouTube for people to follow and watch and pick up. So I'm thinking about it. This was one of those test trials.
Yeah, you would do very well with that. Very well.
I mean, I'll give you my credit card now.
Yeah.
Well, the goal with the channel would just to be picking up affiliates, right? So it'd be all done for you.
Yeah.
Pretty close. It'd be, I'm not an expert in every niche, right? This little demonstration was very clear on that, but we could get pretty close, I think. So.
Yeah, I really don't
Well,
think many people are diving into this part of Go High Level, getting this deep into it when they're on YouTube.
Yeah, everyone will. That's because no one wants to watch a 3-hour-long video, right?
Yeah. Have to break it up, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And It was, I mean, I did all my prep work for this because I wanted to be caught a little off guard so that it was very like genuine and like nothing was like too planned out. But having a full planned out snapshot and build out would be very, very easy to do. And it'd be, well, we could easily build out a full snapshot within like 30 minutes to an hour, right? So I don't think it'd be too crazy to start knocking them out. And Robert, actually, lawn care was actually my very first job as well. That's, I was mowing lawns when I was like 11 or 12 out in Arizona all summer, collecting that cash. So
Yeah, I started off like that and just turned it into a company, and we ran that company for 22 years, and then sold it 2 years ago, and went in and started an agency to help that industry better, you know, do the things that we had done. Because when we finished and when we sold that company, my wife and I were only working maybe 20-25 hours a week because we had systems in place for everything.
wow, that is very impressive. Before I forget, I think it already stopped recording. Oh no, here it is.